Hey, good morning guys, Touch coming at you. Saturday, January 10th. Another cold one today, minus 16 outside. Nice and sunny though. Anyway, we're back in the garage this morning. It's about 9:15 and the car is getting narrower. I started without you last night and managed to get the driver's side front suspension off, pretty much anyway. It was pretty much the same as the passenger side. It was a little bit easier actually because I could get the rotor and the caliper off and things went a lot more quickly. Although I did have a hard time with this steering box, getting one of these fasteners out. This top fastener was seized in there solid, so I had a real challenge getting that out, and I definitely didn't want to break it off. So lots of heat and excuse me, some hammering, and I ended up getting an air chisel to help push it out. Anyway, it finally came off. I needed to get it sort of off and up in order to get this bushing out. Actually, the control arm wouldn't clear, so I wanted to be able to lift this up a little bit. It was you know, half, maybe a quarter inch basically from coming out. So I wanted just to lift that to be able to get that bottom control arm out, and managed to do that. But man, what a process. Anyway, we're going to continue on the car today. We've got a few more things to take off. The front sway bar, obviously, it's just sort of hanging there. I've got to get it off the other side. I want to basically get this frame clear of all the rest of the components. You can see I just got the rear axle and the drive shaft just sitting on the rear of the chassis, just putting a little bit of weight on it. But I guess the goal really is to get the engine and transmission out and everything else off the frame, so all the fuel lines that are left, on all the little ancillary parts. The steering rack has got to come off, the cross member or the cross tube has got to come off. So the front bumper irons have to come off, a bunch of other stuff, but not a ton of stuff. But again, a lot of these things are proving to be a little difficult to remove just because they're rusted on, they're solid. So anyway, that's the plan for the weekend, is to get out here and put some hours in just in order to get this frame cleaned up 100%. At least cleaned up of the components 100%, not cleaned up. We'll start probably stripping the frame down after that. We'll do a lot of wire wheeling, grinding, probably a little bit of sandblasting to get this thing clean and ready for paint. We're not quite sure what we're going to paint it with yet, but we'll get it stripped down and ready to go for paint, and we'll decide what we want to do for paint within the next week or two. Alright guys, that's it for now. We'll get back to work. I'm probably going to give this place a sweep. Like I said, it's amazing how much crud is coming off this car. I mean, that's just really from the front suspension, you know, trying to get it all apart. I keep sweeping and filling up the bucket over there and keep dumping it. So yeah, this car is probably about 50 pounds lighter already just from dirt and rust coming off of it. Anyway, that's it for now guys. We'll get back to work. Talking a bit. And just as I'm sitting here talking to you guys, I realize that that's broken. So that is going to probably be a challenge to get off. So hopefully I can get a pair of vice grips on that. Otherwise that bumper bracket's not going to be easy to get off. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Hey guys, Touch coming back at you. Just coming up to 11:05, and we haven't made a lot of progress. We've got the handbrake sort of semi-removed. Just got to remove that cable. We got the sway bar removed. It's just sitting there on the frame. And that was my track pants getting ripped on that. Got the cross tube removed, and we got the thermostat removed, or the housing removed, and that hose. Okay, now major problems. So these two bolts are both seized in there. I've got the nut off of this one on the inside. I'm going to try to get in there on the other side with a hammer and see if I can knock that out. I can't even turn it. I've tried heat as well. I did grind this off to see if I could punch that. I think that's just a sleeve over the top of the spacer. It's actually for a stiffener for the steering box. But yeah, that won't budge either. So the problem is I need to get these off in order to get the radiator shield off, so I can get an easier access to the bottom of the radiator bolts so I can get the radiator off. So these bolts here actually go in and hold the radiator protection shield. So I need to get those off or I can't go much further. I may be able to get some access to the radiator from the back side underneath, I don't know. It's going to be really tough, and I'm sure those are going to be seized in there as well, so I need to get as much access and leverage as possible, so I'm having a major problem. On the other side, I did manage to get one of the bolts out. The other problem is I broke one of them off. This one here, you can see the one that goes through the radiator protection shield. Now, that's stuck in there. I don't know if I can get access to the other side. I don't know if I have enough space to push to try to pound that out that way towards the radiator, because I think the bolt will actually hit the radiator before it clears the frame. So that's going to be an issue too. So yeah, having lots of fun on the front of this car. Anyway, we'll stay at it. We've been at it probably for at least a half an hour on these two bolts so far, and we'll continue on. Just want to give you a quick update. Feel my pain. Alright guys, not sure how well you can see that, but just coming up to 12 o'clock, noon, and the rad is obviously out. I'm telling you, that was a major test of patience, removing a rad without removing the radiator protection shield. You can see in there, I've still got the bolt stuck there, bolt stuck there. You can get a socket wrench in there, maybe move it about 1/8 of a turn, and of course those bolts are nicely rusted and stuck in there, so that was major effort to get that out. I think on a good day, even if you know, you're putting a brand new rad in and taking a brand new rad out, it would be a challenge to get that out. Anyway, it's out, so we're happy about that, and we're probably going to celebrate with the Diet Coke. And then we'll come out and we'll struggle with this with this radiator protection plate to see if we can get that out and see if we can get those nuts off finally, off the inside, and maybe get a hammer on to punch those bolts out. Anyway, I just thought I would give you a quick update. So I'm happy that's out, and that's not going to stump us, and we can move on. Alright guys, come back in a bit. This should be funny. Okay, quick update for you guys. We've got Les here. Say hello, Les.
Hello.
So Les will give me a hand. We got the tranny out, sitting behind the chassis over there. And we're just pulling the engine, so we've got a little dolly here ready to go. And we're going to have to open the garage door and back this out. But yeah, that's really the last major thing to come off the frame. So I just wanted to take a quick video of this before we get it down on the ground. Alright guys. Okay guys, quick update for you at 5:30. And the garage is a bit of a mess, but everything's off. Well, for the most part, major components are off. So we got to get the brake lines, fuel lines off, some of the motor mounts off, but for the most part, I'm on obviously the engine's out there. The steering is off now. We got the tranny sitting over here on the floor. So that's looking good. Yeah, just needs a major cleanup out here. A good sweeping, and we need a couple more parts bins. There's a starter and the generator and the snout for the crank. So we had a pretty good day in the garage today. So I'm happy with that, and I think we'll probably watch a hockey game tonight and relax a little bit, and have something good to eat, and then we'll probably get out here tomorrow. So that's it for tonight, guys. We'll bring you back tomorrow morning, and maybe we'll take a shot of everything's cleaned up a little bit. And then what we're going to do, I think, is we'll, once we get the rest of the brake lines and fuel lines off the car and whatever remaining components are left on the frame. I noticed that I've still got the rear sway bar still mounted on the bottom there. I've got some metal sawhorses, so we'll get the frame up higher at a good working height, and then we'll start to strip the frame down, which is going to be a combination of wire wheels and grinding, and probably even a little bit of sandblasting or glass bead blasting. We will see. I'll probably have to do the bead blasting outside though. I don't really want to do it inside with this car in here. So we will see what we end up doing when we get to that point. Alright guys, that's it for now. Talk to you later.